At dawn, the rocket trembled on the launch pad, not from wind, but from a question humanity had never answered. Could we truly escape the pull of Earth? In the early 1950s, the sky still felt like a ceiling. Airplanes scratched at it. Balloons drifted beneath it. Beyond that was silence, darkness, and a void no human machine had ever conquered. Engineers stared at chalkboards filled with equations that seemed to argue with gravity itself. One rocket was never enough. It burned too fast, grew too heavy, fell back like everything else. Then came a dangerous idea. Let the rocket shed its own weight as it climbed. Picture the moment. Fire erupts, the ground shakes, a towering column of flame lifts metal and hope into the air. The first stage burns furiously, consuming tons of fuel in seconds, hurling the rocket upward with brute force. Then, suddenly, it drops away. Dead weight released, a shock of separation, silence for half a heartbeat. And then the second stage ignites. Higher, faster, lighter. This was the secret of multi-stage rockets. Not more power, but smarter power. Each stage existed only long enough to do its job, then vanished, sacrificed so the rest could go on. It was an idea as ruthless as it was elegant. Survival through abandonment. Inside Cold War laboratories and remote deserts, engineers worked with frozen fingers and sleepless eyes. Failures were frequent. Rockets exploded. Metal rained down. Each crash carried a message. The margin for error was razor thin. One mistimed ignition, one faulty bolt, and the dream burned away. Yet progress crept forward. With every successful separation, the impossible began to feel reachable. Calculations turned into confidence. Confidence turned into countdowns. And in 1957, when a multi-stage rocket finally carried an object fast enough to miss the Earth as it fell, humanity crossed an invisible line. Orbit had been achieved. The sky was no longer a ceiling. From that breakthrough came everything that followed. Satellites whispering across the planet, humans circling Earth, footprints pressed into alien dust. All of it depended on a simple radical truth, that reaching space required letting go. The rocket that made space travel possible wasn't just a machine. It was a lesson. Progress demands sacrifice. Exploration demands trust in the next stage, even when the current one falls away in fire. And every time we look up at a moving point of light crossing the night sky, we're witnessing that moment again. The moment we learned how to leave home, without knowing exactly where we would land. If this story sparked your curiosity, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment below with what space mystery you want explored next, and help the channel continue its journey beyond the sky.